Scott Baronic,
Nate Capa,
hitting you up.
with the workout of the day.
All right, so what are we doing here, Nate?
So heel strikes is an exercise where what you're learning to do is how to engage the muscles in the back of your leg when the heel of your foot, prosthetic foot, first touches the ground when you're about to start a step. So the very beginner basic way, you would have one piece of tape here on the ground. So Scott, can you demonstrate the heel strike?
So we have kind of a star. This is the number one. So we have that because it's the most basic. So the first thing you want to do is you want to initiate swing. So you'll have your sound limb ahead of you with the prosthesis slight behind you. So you're coming off the toe, and then you just want to come and drive the heel down into the ground. What's significant about this exercise is we don't want you to come hold the heel out and then set down and do this. So we're going to know if you're doing it right. We're going to be looking to see that you're really driving. We want you to exaggerate that motion because you're not walking. This is an exercise with driving that heel right down into the letter one or number one.
If you're in an apartment and you have a downstairs neighbor, they're not going to like this one, but
No.
Wake them up.
If they're knocking on your door, you're doing it right.
Yep. And so what this does, this is a great exercise for level ground walking to really get these muscles in the back of your leg. These are what are going to help control you and help you control the prosthesis as you're stepping through. But the world's not all level ground. Mm-hmm. So as you get real confident with the basic and just the heel strike in one place, what we'll have you do is make a grid. And then what you can start by saying, by just making the pattern, going from number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
So yeah, if you're home, you're working out, you're doing this on your own, this would be the next level. We've had other videos where we talked about proprioception. That's knowing and controlling where your limb is in relation to space. It may be difficult for you to hit right on the number with your heel when you're starting out. That's fine. That's why we practice this.
Another thing you can see that as of right now, Scott he's not supporting himself with the bars, but he's using them for balance. This isn't meant for balance on the other side. So if you're having trouble with your balance, grab some chairs, grab something, the kitchen counter, something stable in your home so that you can really focus on the feeling of having that heel strike the ground. Now, when going through the pattern like that gets to be a little easy, what we'll do is we'll have you make it more random. And if you have a friend that can help you with it,
or if you're watching, therapist.
or a therapist, or if you're watching our videos and we're doing this someday, what we'll do is we'll call out random numbers and say 4, 3, 5, 1, 4, 2. Now what this does, because the ground, we don't know what's going to happen, so we don't get to anticipate unlevel ground. We don't know. Just because one step has terrain that goes one direction, doesn't help us predict what the next step is going to be. So by reaching across and striking, that helps this muscle, even though you're not doing that, it helps the muscles in your hip, back behind your leg. That helps them be strong in all of these planes so that when you're on the unlevel ground, you're in control of the prosthesis.
And a hint to therapists, if you're working with someone, what you may see a lot is we don't want the individuals to go from, like, say they're going from 1 and then to pick up and then go to 2 and go to 3. Okay, so how we like to do it if we're cueing patients in the office, we'll call this the set position. So the set position is with the heel, with the sound limb in front, like I mentioned, and the toe behind you. So if Nate's doing the number grid on me, he would say, well, let's go back to the beginning.
Right.
So say you just want to do 1. We'll say set, strike.
Yep. Set,
strike. Make sure you let them get into the set position before they make the next move. Because if they're just lifting up, the trick is to work those flexors and then switch to those extensors, because that's what you need to do when you're walking. So when you're doing the number grid, instead of saying set, strike, you'd say set. So say the first one was 1, and then you say set, let them set up, and then call out 3. Set, 5, set, 2, set, 4.
So this is heel strike. Start out with maybe 10 times with a piece of paper.
3 sets of 10.
Yep, 3 sets of 10. Taking little breaks in between. What you want to do is you want to feel some muscle fatigue. You want to feel some burn in those muscles while you're going through this, but not to the point that it's going to be achy tomorrow, not the point that you can't walk, do those things. So listen to your body.
But if you're just began wearing a prosthesis and you haven't ambulated in 3 months, if you're not feeling those muscles back here when you're firing them and you haven't fired them for 3 months, then you're definitely not doing it right.
Right.